देशर प्रगति रे एक बड़ भूमिका तुलाई थाए एमएसएमई आउ एमएसएमई को आगो को नबारे जे बड़ अवदान रखुची से होची सिडबी स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रीज डेवलपमेंट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। तेबे सिडबी केमिति एमएसएमई को सहाय्य करि थाए केमिति आगो को नहीं थाए केमिति हाथ धरी आगो को नहीं थाए से संपर्क में आम आलोचना करवा आउ ओडिशार एमएसएमई एथरु कौन फायदा पाउचंदी से नहीं मध्य जानिबा। आम सहित अच्छा सिडबीर डेप्यूटी मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर सुदत्ता मंडल। सर ओ टीवी से आपको स्वागत करता हूं। और सर जो एमएसएमई अभी हम 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, पीएम का जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत का जो नारा है उसको आगे लेने के लिए एमएसएमई का एक बहुत बड़ा योगदान है, लेकिन वो एमएसएमई को आगे लेने के लिए सिडबी क्या रोल प्ले करता है?
Thank you for that question. SIDBI, as you are aware, is the principal financial institution set up by the Government of India for the promotion, financing and development of the MSME ecosystem in the country. We are not only a purveyor of credit as a development financial institution, we also provide non-credit or advisory services, hand-holding services to the MSMEs in the country, and we are also helping in improving the entire MSME ecosystem in the country. The credit assistance that SIDBI provides is either by way of direct finance, where we lend directly to the MSMEs in the country. The other way of reaching out to them is through the intermediation of the banks, financial institutions, the NBFCs and other financial intermediaries who have a larger reach in terms of financing the last mile beneficiaries in the country. SIDBI being a financial institution, it does not have the geographical reach which these institutions like the NBFCs and MFIs particularly have. So therefore, we have this refinance program or indirect finance program as we call it, where we reach out to these small and micro enterprises through the intermediation of these financial institutions and the financial intermediaries. In terms of increasing our reach, we have realized that the way forward is to go digital. Right? India has developed an excellent public digital infrastructure in terms of, it started with the JAM Trinity, which is the Jan Dhan account, the Aadhaar card and the mobile penetration in the country. And the digital stack, public digital infrastructure which has been built in the country is now proving to be the backbone on which several digital lending products and platforms are being built. Today, we have the ability to access data on a real-time basis from the source. So this is an authentic data which we can access. And there are many fintechs in the country today who have developed analytical tools basis this data which is available, albeit through consent of the borrower. So there is no data which is fetched today without the consent of the MSME. But at the same time, with the consent of the MSME, this data is now digitally available from the source and on real-time basis, and there are analytical tools to assess that data and give us a credit score. That has helped the entire banking system in their ability to assess the risk of lending to the MSME segment and mitigating that risk, and therefore the credit dispensation is increasing day by day. SIDBI has also digitized the entire lending process. The direct credit business that SIDBI has been doing for the last 33 years has been digitized. So right from the loan application till disbursement, full digitization has happened, which has helped us to become more efficient. It has increased the efficiency in the delivery of the credit to the SMEs. Having gained that expertise in digitization, it started as being an enabler in our lending process. Now we have graduated to a level where we are able to design products which are digitally enabled. For example, we have developed a product called GST Sahay, which was tested under the regulatory sandbox of RBI, the third cohort, where we are going to provide unsecured invoice-based financing on tap. So here only 3 sets of data are required to be provided by the borrower. The borrower has to give his PAN number, he has to give his mobile number and the consent to fetch data. And basis that consent, data is fetched from the bank accounts through the account aggregator framework. The bank account statement is fetched, the income tax return is fetched, and the GST returns are fetched. Basis which the analytical tools tell me how creditworthy this borrower is, and instantly and this is instantly we can finance against the invoice of the borrower, the SME.
Transparency will be maintained.
Transparency will be maintained. There is no requirement for the small MSME to come to any branch. It is totally contactless. He just has to log on to the application, give this 3 data, and the sanction will happen automatically. And this is available on tap. Now, this we believe is going to be bring about a transformational change in the way working capital is given in the country. Because traditionally what happens is that an SME has to go to his nearby bank, give all the documents, the bank will assess the limit which can be given to this borrower, take security, collateral, and then only within the limit assessed, the SME can avail of the working capital. Through this product, the collateral will not be required. It will be purely digital. He will not have to go to any particular bank and get a limit assessed. Today he wants an invoice to be financed, he can come on to the application and get the finance. Tomorrow he doesn't want the next invoice to be financed because he may have his cash flows. Then he need not go to the bank.
Is this facility already launched or you are going to launch this soon?
Yeah, we are going to launch it soon. As I said, it was tested under the regulatory sandbox and it was successfully tested. RBI has given us the approval for launching the product. And being a development financial institution, we have shared the technology stack with all the banks. So it is not that we want to have a monopoly on this. We have shared the technology with all the banks. So basis that technology, each bank is going to develop its own product. Based on their risk appetite, they will formulate their own business rule engines through which the sanction will happen. SIDBI is formulating its own product and own business rule engine through which this product will be deployed. We are doing some pilots with some of the large FMCG companies for financing these suppliers down the line. So currently what happens is, for example, if Hindustan Unilever, if it say, for example, it manufactures soaps, you have a Kirana store in Bhubaneswar who buys those soaps for selling in his Kirana store. So what he does is that he takes credit from the one who is supplying to him. That fellow takes credit from the wholesaler. That fellow takes credit from perhaps HUL itself. Right? So as the credit moves down the supply chain, the cost of that credit keeps on increasing. Now the end Kirana store, which is a micro enterprise, he need not take credit from that supply chain system. He can take credit directly from SIDBI under this invoice financing, where the cost of credit will be lower for him. Right?
When is it going to be implemented?
Very shortly we will be implementing this. We are doing the pilot. We are working out on the IT because I need to integrate my systems with the systems of the primary supplier, the large companies. So we are using them as the anchors under whichever the SMEs, micro enterprises are there who are supplying to them, they will get financed.
Sir, any other initiative taken by SIDBI for the MSME other than this new facility which is going to benefit them?
There are several such facilities. I can just list them down, but more importantly, another product that we had launched some time back was the Prayas product. Now, what happens is that the micro enterprises typically take financing from the microfinance institutions in the country. And the way the microfinance institutions work today, the lending is under the JLG model, the Joint Liability Group model, and the ticket size is generally up to 80,000 or 90,000 rupees per loan. Right? Now, there are a large number of micro enterprises in the hinterlands at the village level also, who have, after having availed credit, 2-3 cycles of credit from the microfinance institutions, have reached a stage where their requirement is more than 80,000, maybe a lakh or 1.5 lakh or 2 lakh, 3 lakh loan. And they want to take it in their individual capacity, not as part of the joint liability group. So that is the segment which is also called the middle segment, because they are neither catered to by the MFIs nor by the NBFCs or the bank. So we identified that financing gap and we started a product called Prayas, where we reach out to these entities who require a slightly bigger size of loan. And we partner with the microfinance institutions for sourcing the proposals. They refer the proposals to us. We do our very basic due diligence and onboard these customers on our books. So we become the direct lender to these micro enterprises. and through the partnership with the microfinance institutions who are also responsible for the monitoring and collection because they have the feet on the street, they have the presence locally on the ground at the micro hyper-local level. Now, this product we started with funding which we received from RBI, which was fully utilized, and therefore, and we found this product was very successful. We were able to very quickly reach to a large number of micro enterprises. So we decided to expand this program with funding from our own balance sheet. And today that portfolio has grown to over 2,000 crore. We have reached out to more than 1.59 lakh entrepreneurs. More than 85% of them are women entrepreneurs. So this is another product which we want to scale up significantly. And in that endeavor, we are not only going to limit ourselves to partnership with the microfinance institutions, we are also looking at partnering with other aggregators. Right? For example, we have signed an MOU with the India Post and Payments Bank, IPPB, wherein their entire Dakia system will be utilized for generating credit proposals and requirements from the micro enterprises at the grassroots level, and they will help us in sourcing the proposals and doing some due diligence and also in the monitoring and collection. Right?
Sir, as SIDBI is working since last 33 years, what is the contribution of SIDBI to the development of Odisha MSMEs?
So all these lending programs, not only the lending programs, the other promotional and developmental activities, as I mentioned, SIDBI is a development financial institution and does not restrict itself to being a purveyor of credit. So in addition to credit, we do a lot of other promotional and developmental activities and developing the entire MSME ecosystem. So all the activities of SIDBI are across the country, and all those products and services are also available to the MSMEs in the state of Odisha. Now, we have also started a cluster development program because we also believe that one way of extending credit to the SMEs is through the cluster approach, because today you have clusters of SMEs operating, in a geographically contiguous area who may have similar requirements. So we set up a fund called the SIDBI Cluster Development Fund, SCDF, under which we provide concessional loans to the state governments for development of clusters in their states for the SMEs. So for the state of Odisha, for example, under the Cluster Development Finance Program, we have sanctioned loans of 2,847 crore already across 28 projects, and the total project cost is 3,262 crore. The government of Odisha is now, prioritizing the list of projects which can get covered under this program.
Sir, how many MSMEs has been benefited with this loan?
That data I don't have readily available with me, but I can get that data to you. But there is another program of the Ministry of MSME, which is the Cluster Development Program, where SIDBI assists in doing the credit appraisals. Right? So we work very closely with the Ministry of MSME in this program, and under this program, 28 projects have been sanctioned, including 27 greenfield projects. These projects are envisaged to benefit more than 17,000 MSMEs and generate direct and indirect employment of 36,000 and 77,000 respectively in the state of Odisha.
Sir, what is your future plan for Odisha and overall to the overall country?
So these are the future plans. Reach out to as many micro enterprises as possible. The focus is on reaching out to the micro enterprises because that is where the credit requirement is there. When you talk of financial inclusion, the credit to the MSME sector is easily available to the medium-sized enterprises and to a large extent to the small-size enterprises. It is the micro-level enterprises and the nano enterprises, the small businesses, which still do not have that access to credit as the others have. So SIDBI's focus is going to be to reach out to those micro and nano entrepreneurs and develop the entrepreneurial culture in the country. To convert the job seekers to job providers, because if you give a job to an individual, the economic activity or the economic development of that individual household is improved. But if you create an entrepreneur, he will give jobs to another 10 or 15 people, and therefore you are able to create economic development and bring in prosperity to another 15 people. Right? So the whole motto and mandate of SIDBI is to create entrepreneurs who therefore give jobs to more and more people. So all our future endeavors are going to be centered around that.
थैंक यू सर जमती आपण माने शुणुतिले जे सिडबी चाहूँगी जे जो माने जॉब सिकर अच्छा से माने जॉब प्रोवाइडर हुंतु से माने अन्य मानक नियुक्ति दिंतु आ सेथिपाई अनेक नुआ पदक्षेप आसुची नुआ सुविधा आसुची एमएसएमई पाई एवं एमएसएमई पाई ओडिशार ऋण कथा आपण जेते शुणुतिले ओडिशा सरकार को 2800 कोटी रु अधिक टंकार ऋण जोगे दियाहिची जो थिरे ओडिशार एमएसएमई मध्य बूस्ट हबो। भुवनेश्वर कैमरा पर्सन विभुंक सह कपिलेन्द्र प्रधान ओटीवी।